Hi people, this is the first English video on channel. I have decided to make in English for apparent reasons. So let's begin. I have an opinion. It is the difficulty of the game is very important because it mainly recollects the memory of the whole. As you know, the duration of the games can take much time nowadays. In the past, it was still over decent amount of hours. So basically what I am trying to argue is that you should get together all parts of a game when you are making an assertion about it. I am going to do this by genres because in the market history there are tons of games. Of course, I will put anecdotes for better understanding of the case, but I can just set some games and decide to talk about it. I need this context, and I will only choose the games which I think they will do well on the case. That doesn't mean they are only games doing it. First, I will begin with FPS games. First person view covers 180 degrees for every frame, so both indoor and outdoor sections of the game are affected by that. If devs programs well enough, outdoor sections, especially open areas, can generate serious problems for players. Covering area gets bigger, enemy attacks from multiple locations using all verticality and horizontality, and sometimes they patrol too. This is basically the first Far Cry. Very crippling game. In this game, when alert mode is initiated, enemies will approach from every side they can reach. Now indoor sections. When you don't worry about your backside, usually players uses walls. Why not, of course? Things advance in expected ways. So scripted repellent placed enemies or bullet absorbing enemies are the most annoying these generally. Although Soldier of Fortune is a quality game, it regularly puts you in a trapped position, making the game more and more irritating. And spawning is a big concern too. In some missions, the game straightly spawns enemies when you look certain corner. Okay, now the TPS genre. In TPS games, you can put together much more knowledge during the action of the game. Of course, compared to FPS genre. If it is like that, movement of the main character and how can he avoid the enemy attacks are decisive. For this one, I will pick first Mafia. Cover works manual and he is a gentleman for gunslinger role. Probably all you guys know that too. Gears of War popularized the usage of the cover systems in the video gaming. But before this work, cover in most TPS games were manual. What Mafia does best is making the protagonist is a taxi driver, which has no education on guns and killing people. He has zero experience about it. Of course, this guy will not move like a merc or a soldier. Sufficiency of the main character can be used against the player, and if it is organized well enough, it can bring some advantages to your game. Next one is adventure genre. I have a general problem makers for all game genres. I will tell this in the end. Anyway, specifically for this genre, I can say if the themes and setting of the game is more absurd, commonly it leads to more absurd solutions for progress. Adventure games are very linear games. You have to do particular things to get something out of it, and you have to do all of it in order most of the time. All of these indicators imply a certain game for me. It is Grim Fandango. It is a hard game for those reasons. Also, it does not try to be a hard game. In adventure games, inference is important. You look at frames and try to gather something. Games with quality always signal to player, which is a pivotal point for progress. This can be done by dialogues, graphical demonstrations, etc. Grim Fandango has a property which very progressive is still today. If many moves close by to an interactable object, he simply looks with the head to that object. In this way, you don't have to click every point of the frame. Stealth genre is the next. Stealth games are various, but for this part I will only focus on the games that support stealth approach, and if they offer non-stealth approaches, they will be not efficient as the stealth approach. Light and sound inputs are prominent as you expect. AI of enemies and also patrolling of the areas also important. What else? Capabilities of the main character are crucial. If a stealth game promising no detection or shadow status for most of levels, that means you are controlling overpowered being or AI is pretty dumb. Most stealth games creates vulnerable scenarios for NPCs. I will pick Thief the Dark Project on this one because in this game you have to be quiet and patient. There is no other way really. You can't use combat. It is suck. That's why. You are there for stealing some artifacts and basically that's all. You have tools but they are very restricted compared to average. Alright then, the RPGs. RPGs are easy. Why is that? If you know what you are doing, most of the RPGs will permit and offer a state where you can erect an overpowered dude which can boast the game's worth easily. Yeah, the process of being that overpowered sometimes is harsh. But again, if they arranged well, the process should be not that painful. So we need a complex RPG. Games like Skyrim, Witcher 3 eliminated quickly. I'm sorry for lovers. And we have to choose isometric RPG. The reason is when you are dealing with the third person or first person RPG, because of the reactionary basis, you can cope with most of the situations that will occur to you. Isometric RPGs rely more on character stats. To pick one, I didn't finish one isometric RPG. Yeah, I know, I am suck. You help me. Generally, what you can do is remove regeneration of stats, especially health, and use spoiled mechanics. They are not considered player friendly nowadays. Also, these are extremely general. Really doesn't mean anything if the game is not suiting to them.